our very own Aayush Chawla.
Yeah, so I went to Kashmir on Kargil Vijay Divas.
On the next weekend, when we spoke about why are people going to the mountains.
Yeah, so if you guys have listened,
he ventured on to go to the ultimate mountains.
भाई थर्ड वेव आने वाली है, उससे पहले फटाफट हिमाचल उगाता हूँ. So if you guys would have listened to the full podcast, I clearly said that even after speaking all about why we should not go to mountains or why we should,
we might
just do that, right? So I did that. I'm not guilty of it. I was there, right, on a presidential visit. Even
presidential visit.
Yeah, even.
Can you please explain?
Yeah, so it's pretty complicated, but so we were there and we were in the guest list of the president and their convoy that went to Kashmir on Kargil Vijay Divas, and we were also there with them.
How many years since the Kargil war? 20.
20, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Big day.
So we were there standing for national anthem while people were sneaking up from the mountains. You know, we were just thinking.
What?
Yeah, so there was this big ground. There was national flag. There was all the army around us, right? And it was a camp basically.
Where? This is where?
This was before Pahalgam. So there is this camp base that comes in between in the journey towards Kashmir and Pahalgam. There is this army camp, and we were there, and you know there was this national anthem going on, right? Because it was Kargil Vijay Divas.
Obviously.
Military was there.
It would have been weird if the national anthem wasn't
Military was there. We were respecting the anthem and the flag and that, and
no.
in all the right
Who
spirits.
was looking at you from up the
so
hills?
There were
what
mountains,
is this?
And there were people looking towards us. And
Like normal people, not sharpshooters.
I don't know that. I'm still confused about that, but yeah. So people were looking towards us, and I was just hoping that I should not get shot.
On a scale of 0 to how scared were you?
इतनी फट गई थी कि कुछ भी नहीं सीता हाथ में. नहीं, but it was not scary because you are with the army and you are protected on all guards. But again, if someone is there, on the mountains, there are like 10-15 people and they are just looking at you with a stick in hand. If that was a stick.
Normal civilians.
I don't know that. They were normal civilians. So, visiting Kashmir, I uncovered a lot of facts that Kashmiri people still think that is true. So, we were traveling in a mini private RTV, and our driver said, to
So,
us,
how is Kashmir? How is Kashmir?
Right, Kashmir
like
is
I
beautiful.
went to Kashmir when I was a child.
Kashmir is fucking beautiful. I mean, it is rightly said as the mini Switzerland. I've been to Europe. I've been to 7-8 countries in Europe, but they're unmatched to what Kashmir is. It is so beautiful. There is river, there is mountains.
Dal Lake.
Not only Dal Lake, there is this
Indus.
Yeah, the river flowing. So
the infamous Indus River.
Yeah, where all this civilization began. Yeah, so there is river, there are mountains, there are plains. It is so beautiful. There is ice, there is rain, there are rains, there is sun, heat, scorching heat. The next moment, there are windy breezes going all around. So I mean, Kashmir is super beautiful. Yeah. Indian government cannot market it as a touristy place because a lot of political unrest and conflicts do take place, right? So I was telling you one thing. There is this short story. So we were in Kashmir and we were buying almonds and apricots and walnuts, apples. So I inquisitively asked that, "Bhaiya, aapke paas kishmish hai?" Raisins, yeah. So
the South Delhi people.
Yeah. I hope someone from South Delhi is watching. That's one possibility. So I just asked that, do you guys have raisins there? So he said, "Bhaijan, milegi kyun nahi milegi?" So I want the quality that is top, like extreme top quality, good quality raisins. I want that. So I'm here for that. So he said, top quality milegi, kyun nahi milegi? Azad Kashmir ki milegi. And I got into, delusion. So Azad Kashmir kya hai? So he said,
so where does this guy live?
There is this shop called Kisan Kesar.
No. Where
Yeah.
did that guy? Did that guy live in
the Indian, half
Indian
of
part,
Kashmir,
right?
in the Indian half. No, people cannot go.
So
to
there is
POK.
trade between POK.
Yeah, there is
and-
trade between. I don't know. Surprisingly, there is some trade between them. Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah, so they might be. You know, they need basic living, right?
So there is trade between.
Yeah. I don't
On-
think so. That's a formalized trade. I might call it smuggling.
I mean, how is
You're
he's
smuggling
selling
raisins.
it as
So he
Azad
said,
Kashmir ki?
yeah, he said Azad Kashmir. So I said Azad Kashmir. Explain me that. So he said, जो पाकिस्तान ने आज़ाद करा दिया. So I was like, सिड़ी के वहाँ जाके देख मर रहे हैं वहाँ पे लोग. I just feel like okay, so Kashmiri people, okay. I'll just say that you guys.
So were all of the guys, all of the people were like
No,
that?
not
or-
all-
I
not
mean,
all of us.
were they hostile in general?
So a lot of people. So there was a lot of army movement because
Of course, like you would have known better if you had not been with a convoy.
convoy. Yeah,
If you had
so
gone,
I was always traveling. We were my
Yeah.
group of my
Of course.
family and another group of family. We were always traveling in a convoy. You know,
Yeah.
so we felt protected all the time. But to see a lot of military, right? And so we also did private cabs up there. You know, not with the convoy going against them. You know, ditching them, and because they were on a schedule, right?
I think if you had not been so did you talk to locals while you were with the military or?
Yeah.
So that's
So
so
once
that
the-
can be one thing that
Yeah,
you
so-
might have been perceived differently.
Yeah, so one story, there is this story that I really wanted to share was that there was this one local, his name was Imran, and we were just talking, you know, he was handling a confectionery shop, you know, I was buying some Red Bull and
Yeah.
chips. So he said that so there was this PSO with me right behind me, so he said कि we जनाब आपके साथ आए हैं military वाले जनाब. मैंने कहा yes, he's with me. So the military guy with me does not understand Dogri, that is the regional language of Kashmir. He's from central India, Madhya
Seems
Pradesh.
weird.
No, because
Why would you deploy?
yeah, you would deploy other people. I asked that because if you know there is this Kashmiri prison, right? So a lot of prisoners speak Dogri, and if the officer over there guarding the prison knows Dogri, they'll somewhat communicate, and
Of
when they
course.
communicate, a dialogue happens, and when a dialogue happens, so possibility increases to plan a prison escape. So
What the
yeah, to
fuck?
not create a dialogue, there is always a person who does not understand what the inmates are saying.
What the fuck?
To create that barrier,
That sounds counterintuitive.
that's pretty amazing. I mean, I felt that's a pretty genius move.
That's not genius. I mean,
even in Tihar jail, if you go, I've been to Tihar jail. No, that's not a visit I'm proud of. So I've seen Tihar from outside.
When?
Arey yaar, it is not.
You've been to the jail.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the convoys
Yeah,
taking
from
session.
outside.
So, one
When
of
you
my
say
friends-
I've been to the jail, that sounds like you were a convict.
No, I'm not a convict, right? Nobody in my family. We belong to a good family. We do not have a police record.
I've been to the jail.
I've seen it. I've seen it pretty upfront close. So that was because one of my family members is in the army and he was stationed there. So we got there to receive him. towards
No,
that.
but like I would think that if someone knows the regional language, he or she would be able to connect better with the locals.
That's what they don't want. I mean, they'll brainwash. I mean, so yeah, coming back to the story, right? So the story was when I was with Imran and I was buying confectionery. I mean,
Yeah,
the story
so,
will
yeah.
clear the image for you. So Imran, so
You can take
My-
names, वहाँ सुनाई नहीं दे. Internet ही नहीं.
internet genuinely दिया बहुत दिक्कत आई. So no, they have Wi-Fi's at hotels. So
Lol.
so my guard left me, you know. So he went back to his convoy to take some briefings. So he said that, "Do you believe the military guy? आप उस जवान में भरोसा करते हैं?" मैंने कहा पूरा भरोसा करते हैं, बिना मतलब आँख बंद करके भरोसा करते हैं. Said यहाँ कोई कश्मीर में नहीं करता. मैंने कहा क्यों? कहते किसी बच्चे को गोली मार देगा, किसी बच्चे को उठा के ले जाएगा, कहेगा ये टेररिस्ट है, वो टेररिस्ट नहीं होता. असली बात तुम्हें क्या पता? मैंने कहा कि कोई भी लाइक एनी आर्मी पर्सन विदाउट गुड अमाउंट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन वुड नॉट टेक दैट स्टेप. यही बात हिंदी में मैंने से बोली कि बिकॉज यू नो army needs all the right evidences first to prove it to their officials, and then they take an action. This happens. I mean, I've seen army working there, and they do take precautions. So even there was this checkpoint, right? So on checkpoints, normal cars having the number plates of J and K, they were being stopped. So people were, you know, they treated army as
Evil.
I mean, not
Yeah.
even as evil. I mean, if I just ask you, Parag, show me your license, and I'm on a checkpost, so what will you do? Will you retaliate then and there? Or will you just show me your license and I'll say just go? So
I mean,
that is
the
where
situation is kind of very complicated. You can't just, say ki, okay, you're completely against the army.
yeah.
Because it can't be. Why would some random shopkeeper be so against the Indian army? It has to come from his own experiences, right? If I have a bad encounter with the Delhi
Yeah.
police, then I would tell you or talk to someone in future. I would say, no, don't mess with these guys. I mean,
Right.
it's like we don't know the background. The situation is Kashmir is something we just can't relate to.
What I feel like personally after talking to locals there, and after
So you
interacting
felt
with them-
like a clear. Was this everywhere?
no, this was not everywhere. I mean, so fun fact, we took a tour guide towards Chandanwadi. So there is this place where Amarnath Yatra starts. So we took a tour guide to Chandanwadi, and Amarnath Yatra, of course, very
Yeah.
pious to
Not happening this year?
Nah, not happening since past 2 years due to COVID. So he took us there to the initial steps where Amarnath Yatra begins, and so he was teaching us about Hindu religion, how it all started, who found the path to Amarnath, and how it all got made up. So to convince us that he's literally the guide that we wanted, he kept on saying Jai Bholenath to have our
What
confidence.
was his name?
His name was he was Muslim. His name was I don't remember. I don't remember. Akhtar?
He was not Hindu.
He was not Hindu. He was Muslim. Yeah, he said he was wearing a cap, so it was pretty visible from his attire. He was
That's
wearing
kind of beautiful.
Yeah, that's pretty beautiful. But yeah, it was beautiful. And then casually, my father asked him, "What's your stand between the two nations fighting over your piece of land?" So he said that we are always with India because India, if you look at the bigger picture, India is way more developed, way more opportunistic,
Of course.
way more having more platforms for us to conduct more trade than Pakistan. So Kehta, our always and always vote will be with India, but the politicians here, Mehbooba Mufti, he took names. Mehbooba Mufti and one other big shot politician, he took names. They keep on fighting each other. They know that they'll plant a fight, and then they want to cause an unrest. I don't know why. Because of this unrest happening, they sell weapons.
Yeah.
They smuggle weapons. So they are living off by their unrest.
This is the look. Kashmiris are not the problem. Politicians are the problem.
Yeah, in
On both sides. This is not something like
I mean,
we are the good guys or they are the bad guys.
Yeah,
Politicians are the bad guys,
I
and
mean,
they never suffer.
Kashmir,
The truth is that.
Kashmir is in governor's rule right now.
Yeah,
right? There is no
they never
chief
suffer.
minister.
These
Chief-
guys never suffer.
Chief minister, right? So public out there, first of all, Kashmir is craving tourism. They live off tourism, right?
They've always lived off tourism.
Yeah.
I mean, they
And
live off
even
trade.
yeah.
Either their local produce or tourism. What else is there to do?
I mean, Kashmir lacked in opportunities because, a lot of...
It still does.
Alright, so let me take it this way. The Kashmir which connects with Jammu,
Yeah.
a lot of people top IAS from there. A lot.
Because
it's in the records.
I mean, they have opportunities there.
Opportunities
There's
because
not war there.
There is direct Kashmir which is connected to Jammu, right? Let's
so
not
there's
say there is
less
no war there. War is in entire
unrest
Kashmir.
there, right?
War
in
is in
Jammu.
entire Kashmir. I
But
mean,
the unrest is less in Jammu.
I'm saying the Kashmiri part that just okay. So there are IAS toppers in Srinagar, living in Srinagar.
Of course, they are. I mean, there's some
Srinagar has
IAS
Lal
officer
Chowk.
from...
Srinagar has Lal Chowk.
Yeah. So, I'm not saying
Yeah.
like...
So opportunities are here on the Indian front more.
Obviously, there are more.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you expect from a
But
country
there are
like
still
Pakistan?
people with an orthopedic, orthodox mentality that
Orthopedic.
yeah, sorry, there was a slip of that orthodox mentality. That Pakistan is still their hope. I mean, they choose religion in that case.
Yeah,
I've
of
seen
course.
people
I mean,
choosing
look.
religion, and that's pretty dumb.
it's
You do
like,
not choose religion over prosperity, do you? I mean,
religion is a very strong force. People in India choose religion over their prosperity. They would go out of their way to
If
cause harm to themselves for religion. It's a very strong force. You want to coerce someone. What's the best way? Take the name of God. It's true. I mean, you are religious.
I'm religious.
So it's hard
yeah.
for you. I'm not religious. But I see it happening and you see it happening all the time.
Yeah.